Hey guys, what's up? It's Monkazunky and welcome to the first out of my 4 God Wars Dungeon solo guides that will be uploaded to this channel as we all get used to the release of God Wars Dungeon 2 and the 4 new bosses associated with that. So the first boss I'll be showing you guys how to kill is Vindicta, and for the second phase of the fight, her dragon Gorvek also comes out. Now this boss can be tricky to fight because the purple clouds do a lot of damage, and also the boss herself, her auto attacks, do hit quite high, but I'm planning on showing you guys how to solo without using any food, and I do 1 hour trips and get around 28 kills per hour. Now the kills can be slightly slower or slightly faster depending on exactly what gear you are using, but we'll go over all of that in the gear setup. So I'll just show you guys the mechanics, how to avoid the dangerous attacks this boss has, and how to kill her quickly. So let's go ahead and get into the guide. So this is the gear setup that I bring to Vindicta. I would highly recommend using melee here just because the Berserk ability, when used at the right time at Vindicta, can make the fight much less painstaking and really quite fast. So melee is awesome here. Also, you want to be using a Noxious Scythe if you have that available to you. The Dragors are also going to work, but because of a mechanic in the boss where it can sometimes walk you, it can cancel your Dragor's threshold, so it can be kind of annoying to use Dragors. So I would recommend to go with the Scythe instead. Also, the extra range is really good. Otherwise, I have augmented Tetsu armor. Augmented tier 80 power armor would be the best to use here. Because of financial constraints, though, I'm having to go with Tetsu. And then I also have the Amulet of Souls, which is going to be really nice for extra protection from your protection prayers. And then the Invigorate aura is good. If it's your first time, you might want to use Vampirism or Penance instead, so you can have more space in your inventory for food or more healing. And then also I would recommend using a scrimshaw of vampirism. This is where most of your healing is going to come from, and also for the most part how you're going to be able to do these kills without using any food. And then for the inventory, I have Overload Flasks, Adrenaline Potion Flask, Prayer Flask, which you will not need if using a Penance Aura, so that aura can be really good here. I also have a shield. Any shield will do, but the higher tier the shield, the more healing that you'll get from the Resonance ability, so I'd recommend going with the highest tier you can get. I use a Blood Nile. You can also use a Steel Titan, or if it's your first time and you're just trying to learn the mechanics and you're not comfortable with the boss yet, you can always bring a Yak and fill that with extra food. Desert Amulet for banking, Enhanced Excalibur, and Dreadnips are really good here. So if you have Dreadnips, bring them. They'll help you out in this fight a lot. Okay, so getting to God Wars Dungeon 2, I like to start at Narda just because there is a bank and there's also an altar right there. Or you can start at wherever you want and use one of the heart teleport tabs to get to God Wars Dungeon 2. But Narda Bank is like right next to the dungeon, so that's where I like to start off. And getting to the Zeros area, which is the area where the Vindicta boss is located, you just want to head southwest from the entrance and kill all of the Zeros-related creatures, which is going to be the Ancient Warriors, Ranges, and Mages. Also, the Abyssal Demons and Necreals count towards Zeros. Hopefully you have some friends, maybe they could spawn like a Zeros champion from you and you could get kill count a little bit faster, but this is another place where the Scythe comes in really handy. You can use the Area of Effect abilities if you can find packs of monsters together and get your multiplier up higher so you have to get less kill count overall. But anyway, 40 kill count is needed to enter into the Vindicta boss fight area. Alright, so once you have 40 kill count, move into the southwestern area of Zeros and start yourself an instance of Vindicta, turn on your aura and scrimshaw, and you're ready to go. Now I'm going to skip ahead a kill here and show you my standard routine for killing Vindicta. Adrenaline stall between kills, of course, and then right when Vindicta is about to spawn, I'll use Devotion just to negate a bit of the damage. For the first 100,000 HP of the fight, you'll be fighting Vindicta by herself. Her dragon will fly off, and it's just a 1v1 fight. She uses only melee attacks, and she also has one special that'll go over in just a second when it happens. But for this first part of the kill, you just want to use threshold abilities. We're going to be saving Zerk for a little bit, so if you're using the Scythe, that means Hurricane and Assault, and also Slaughter, and then walk under her to do the extra bleed damage. Now, the special attack is the Dragon Breath attack, and when this happens, Vindicta will swing her 2 swords overhead at you, just like this. And in the direction that she swings the swords, you want to move perpendicular to that because the dragon will fly across the battleground, blowing purple smoke that does very high magic damage to you, so you don't want to stand in that. Now, when Vindicta is around 120k HP, this is when I use Berserk and Adrenaline Pot Up, and then we want to be using Assault straight off. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to get her into the dragon form, and it's also going to hit the dragon because there's no like invincibility frames or anything when the dragon spawns. So get your Assault off, get your Hurricane off, and you are already a good 1/3 of the way into the most annoying part of the fight, which is Vindicta on her dragon. Now for the dragon breath attack in phase 2, the dragon will fly off, and when this happens, you want to move perpendicular to the direction that your character is running, because your character will run back towards the dragon if you have auto retaliate on. So just move in the direction to avoid the purple smoke so you don't stand in it, and then we can go ahead and finish off the kill. Now, when Vindicta is in dragon form, she always follows a very, very simple pattern. She'll run at you, use one melee attack, and then use one ranged attack, and then use another melee attack. So you can prayer switch to block the attacks accordingly. So keep your prayer switches available on your action bar, because that ranged attack hits hard and you don't want to be taking a bunch of those. Also, as the dragon flies away, make sure to use the slaughter ability, and she'll bleed herself. It's a really easy way to get that ability off. So far, this might be sounding really simple, and to be honest, it is. There isn't a whole lot to this boss fight other than that, but I can give you guys a couple extra tricks. First of all is, every single time when Vindicta is on the dragon form, her second attack of her pattern, of course, is ranged. Now, the range hits pretty hard, and that's why we brought the shield. We want to take advantage of that. Since we're trying to do these kills with no food, what you're going to want to do is every other cycle of attacks that Vindicta has on her dragon, you want to switch to that shield, use the resonance ability after she does her first melee hit, and resonance, that ranged hit. Now, I've resonance up to a 4k before, so that attack can hit quite hard, and that just means free HP for us. Now, what do you do when resonance is on cooldown every other cycle of attacks? Well, you can either use debilitate or you can use devotion, and then you don't take any damage at all from those attacks if you want to do that, or you can just go ahead and DPS and get the kill done as fast as possible. So, of course, I did mention earlier in the guide that dread nips are really good here, and you may or may not be wondering why that is, but we'll go ahead and explain that now. So, dread nips, along with doing very minimal damage to bosses, they also have one other pretty cool ability. They can stun bosses and cause them to delay their attacks. Now, this works really good at Vindicta, and you'll see here, I switched to my shield, the resonance is ranged hit. It's supposed to come. It's supposed to come now. It's supposed to come any moment. But no, Vindicta's just standing there derping, and I miss my resonance because the Dreadnip has been stunning her for so long that she just stands there. Now, why is stunning Vindicta an advantage? Well, aside from the obvious that she's hitting you less and doing less damage to you, there's also the plus that in this dragon form, she's flying away all the time, which can be really annoying if you're meleeing, but if she's being stunned, then she's not flying away, meaning you can use more abilities and kill her faster. So that's why I'd recommend to use Dreadnips. They are really good at this particular boss. So that's about all I have as far as it goes for tips for killing the boss. It's a relatively straightforward boss. The mechanics are not that hard to grasp. She does do quite a bit of damage, so it just takes a bit to make sure you're getting down Devotion, Debilitate when needed, and also Resonance to heal up. But here is the main drop that I've had so far from Vindicta. I got myself a Crest of Zeros earlier today. This is one of the two main drops that you're looking for from this boss. You're looking for the crest, and she also drops a weapon called the Dragon Rider Lance. Those are the two main ones that are worth good GPs. So, you know, RNG allowing, you'll get one of those two fairly soon and make some good money here. But also her regular drops are very good. I'll show you guys my total loot from 122 KC so far done at Vindicta, and it's very good. It's good money, and it's a lot of fun as well. So I'd recommend trying out this boss. So here I go with all the drops that I've obtained so far from Vindicta, and just as far as time goes, well, it's 122 KC. You're expecting around 30 kills an hour-ish, so this is about 4 hours spent at Vindicta solo. You can expect this loot. That's not bad. That's some pretty good money for 4 hours. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the guide. I hope it helped. Let me know what you think of Vindicta and all the other God Wars Dungeon 2 bosses down in the comments. I'll try to make guides on them soon, and I'll get around to making the next one this next couple of days. So yeah, thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Have a good one, and farewell.